Hi, my name is Voiseau, and I'm a freelance singer-songwriter and creator, and this video is going to be about what people don't really tell you when starting out on the path of your true calling. It's an account by someone who's gone all in, and relatively early on in the journey, is choosing to talk about the reality of what it's like living this life. But first, perhaps, a bit of background to give some context to this story, and why I choose to speak about it. Stay with me. In the past year alone, I've been through therapy, I've left a relationship, I've moved countries, and I've completely changed career path. All of these changes eventually came about naturally because of the series of realizations I made during the first lockdown in COVID, which was the lowest I've ever been in my life. I suddenly had nowhere to run, and left alone with my thoughts, without life to distract me, I very quickly plunged into my own waking nightmare. This led me, over the course of 2 years, to make huge realizations about my personal and working life. It didn't take me long, maybe 6 months in, to realize that my living hell was actually the transmutation into the most precious gift of my life. The gift being that I was starting to uncover all of the lies I've been spoon-fed during my 32 years on the planet to get me to stay small, stay afraid, and not to stray from the known path. I realized I was hiding, and running and hiding from all of the fear I thought was true about myself and the world. One of the biggest things I learned about working on yourself is, once you know too much, you can never go back. You are, quite simply, a completely different person, and the things you used to tolerate now have become completely unbearable. From what you choose to eat, to who you choose to spend time with, to where you live, and to how you live, which is where I find myself in the present day. I dropped all forms of income and moved to the countryside to pursue a life as a singer-songwriter. Every life experience I ever had was like a signpost to me, eventually understanding that this is what I really wanted to do with my life. So if I'm now living my dream life, you may ask, and trust me, I have more than 1,000 times, why do I find it so hard? Which leads me on to the why of this video. When I had finally reached the point that I was going to actively make the decision to go all in by dropping my day job and live off my savings in order to write music, by that stage I had read and listened to 2.5 years worth of books and videos, and taken the odd course here and there about what it would be like to start raising your consciousness and living your passion full time. This was an ongoing unfoldment day by day, a gradual peeling back of all the layers of the onion, and just because you know which way you need to go doesn't mean you're ready for it. To say I was terrified was an understatement. Actively turning down good-paying jobs and offers of things that I'd only dreamed of having only a couple of years prior literally made me feel like I must be crazy. I still have days like this, frequently. There's a lot of glamorization in books, social media, and YouTube about how when you start following your passion, things suddenly align and your life becomes one of ease and flow. That fortune favors the brave, and that if you just follow these 5 simple steps, or if you do it this way, or if you pay money to this person, or if you watch this video, suddenly eureka! The answers will be there, and what your soul has known all along calls you forward and the path lights up in front of you. Maybe this has happened for some, but honestly, starting out on your path and staying on it is probably the hardest, most intense work I've ever had to do on myself. I've found that people shy away from being honest about this, or even being able to talk about it, probably for good reason. Everyone wants to feel good and just hear the positive parts of the story. But I feel it's important to shine a light on some of the challenges, so that others out there who are going through the same thing as me, or are about to, know that they're not alone. It's hard starting out on the path as a creative person. Really hard. But I don't mean out there hard. I mean internally hard. Fear has a lot to answer for. If you've ever been through therapy, then you'll know that when you start out, you're like, I'll probably just need about 8 to 10 sessions, then I'll be cured. When that comes and goes, you're like, okay, maybe just give it 6 months, then a year, then... Here I am, nearly 3 years later, and even though I'm no longer in therapy, I still have days that are very difficult, because I'm still discovering new things about myself that were easy to ignore when I was living in financial security. What people don't tell you is it's examining one belief system after another, after another, after another. There are moments and days which leave you just so exhausted from the emotional effort without any end or relief in sight. And yet through the worst of times you keep telling yourself, it will get better, life will get easier. What people don't really tell you when you start, and by starting I mean actively, consciously making the decision to go all in, is that it's not that life will get better, you get better. That's the key difference. It's like that moment in the animated film Hercules, where the hero goes to his father Zeus and says, "Father, today is the day. I'm finally ready to join you and the gods." And his father says, "You've done well, son, you really have, but you're not quite there yet. You haven't yet proven yourself to be a true hero." And Hercules, in strike me down disbelief, says, "But what more can I do?" Honestly, I feel like that every day. Every new song, every new video, every next idea, and I keep thinking, surely this is the one. This is the one that will change everything. And the universe keeps saying, no, not yet, not yet, not yet. And there are days I fall down and fall down hard. I don't get it. I don't understand what more I need to do. And then I learn from it and grow from it. And each time I do, I get just that little bit better. I understand just that little bit more the reasons why I'm here and why I'm doing this. Maybe I'll get there one day, to that mythic place where life becomes a joyous, synchronistic breeze, where the Greek gods all sit on a cloud and drink wine. Maybe I won't. But one thing's for sure, if you're thinking of setting off on the path less traveled, strap yourself in for the most raw, most difficult, most beautiful and worthwhile journey of your life. You're going to uncover things about yourself and the world you never thought possible. The good, the bad, and the ugly in all their shining glory. And know that once you step foot on the path, you're on it for life. Very soon you'll know too much, and that knowledge means you'll never be able to return to the person you were before. The world needs you, and if ever you feel like it's a bad day, or that you're exhausted, or that you're wondering if you should just throw in the towel, know that it's normal. And unbelievable as it sounds, you really do have what it takes to get through this to your dream life. Let the fear rise and fall through you like the tides, and start getting comfortable with the unknown. When it starts hitting you like a ton of bricks, this is when you know you're getting to the really good part of the story. You've hit the adventure mode setting on the game console of your life. Your carriage awaits. Bon voyage.